Hi everyone, welcome to BT Business and Technology Revision. So guys, we are going to do a revision. So I just want to summarize some of the topics. So I'm going to be using KAPLAN textbook. So guys, these are the contents, these are the topics that we have. So guys, today we want to normalize the abnormal. So if you look at the topics, these are the contents. We have business organization. Yes, business organization. We have the structure. We have the structure, we have culture. So those are the topics from chapter number 1. Up to chapter number 25. Chapter 1 up to chapter 25. So guys, this is what I'm going to do. Most of the topics, there's nothing much. Like if you look at chapter number 12 to chapter number 15, so this is all FA stuff, financial accounting stuff, right? The law and regulation governing accounting, you also need to know the financial accounting stuff. Just know that we have the IFRS foundation, and you say this board, they develop the standards, and they also bring about the convergence of national standards and international financial reporting standards. They promote the use of these standards. And you also have the ISB, which issues those standards. We have the interpretation committee. What do? They clarify the standards. In the exam, if they say which board clarifies standards, is the interpretation. Because when you are interpreting, you are clarifying, you are providing guidance. They provide guidance. We also have the IFRS Advisory Council. They provide guidance, right? The advisory, they advise the ISB. So what they do first, they consult with the outside world, and then they advise the ISB. So guys, we do have, so I don't want to talk about FA stuff. Okay, so for today, I just want to start with the last, I'm starting from chapter 25. So from the last topic, chapter 25, going upwards. Or we can start from, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Right. Okay guys, let's start with 19. Right, what I expect you to know on this topic: recruitment and selection of employees. Recruitment and selection of employees. Right. Recruitment and selection of employees. So this is the summary. You're expected to know the recruitment, the selection. Right, recruitment. So guys, when a company is hiring its employees, when they are hiring their employees, when there can be an internal recruitment, there can be an external recruitment. So if you are recruiting internally, guys, let's say there is a vacancy. So maybe, for example, we are looking for a clerk or we are looking for an accountant. So if you are recruiting internally, we are just looking at the employees that you have. So what are the advantages of doing that? The advantage, there's no need for induction. You don't need to tell the employee about the company, about what you do, about everything, to familiarize the employee with the work. You understand? Because the employee works there, so there's no need for that. So you'll be able to save time, to save money as well, because you are not training the employees. No need for, you won't incur the training cost. So those are the advantages, and it also motivates others that if they work hard, they will be promoted. You understand? So those are some of the advantages, but the disadvantage is that we won't be able to get the best person for the job, because it's likely that if you maybe if you are looking for an accountant, you can even, if you are recruiting internally, you can even appoint someone who is not qualified enough for that position. So it's a challenge to the entity. So, but if you recruit externally, guys, it's an advantage because you'll be able to inject new blood into the entity. So we bring people, there are better people out there, guys, people who are qualified enough, people who can even bring new ideas into the organization. So now we have recruitment and selection. So if you are recruiting employees, everyone is invited. But on selection part now, maybe just imagine maybe 100 people have applied for the job, but we only need 5. So we can then now select. So we are now choosing people. Maybe you can select 10 out of 100. 10 employees, you want to interview those employees, but on interview, maybe you only need 5, you then take the people that you believe can do best. Right. So that's it. There's nothing much on this. Let me just scroll down so I'll be explaining. Maybe the size, let me adjust the size first. Right. I hope you are able to see clearly. Right. So this is the process. What do? You agree vacancies, there's job analysis, there is job description, person specification, attract candidates, right? Like for example, now on agree vacancies, you agree the vacancies to be filled. Do you need a clerk? Do you need a clerk? Do you need an accountant? And also from agree vacancies, you move on to job analysis, job description. On job description, this is what we have. On job description, now, what's the job title? What are the purpose? What are the duties that you are required to do? We also talk about the salary that you'll be paid at work, the working conditions, how many hours you'll be working, what about the challenges in that job. There are also the difficulties, position of the job in relation to others in the company. So that's the job description. From job description, you move on to person specification. And this was developed by Alec Rogers. Gave us a mnemonic called the skip dagger. So you just need to know the mnemonic on this one is called the skip dagger. Right. On the skip dagger, the first one is for what? Special aptitude. What are the skills and the abilities that you have as an individual? Yes. So we are talking about the skills with words and numbers. So what skills do you have? For example, someone when we look at our candidates, when you look at our employees, we look at the qualities that they have. What about the circumstances? Does the job have any special demands, such as to work unsociable hours? For example, maybe you'll be qualified, but we need someone who will be able to even to work at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. In that case, can you do that? So if you can, maybe you have better chances of getting the job. Right? There's also interest. Yes, are you active or social in your personal life? Because jobs are different, guys. Just imagine we want someone who will be doing marketing. So you must be social. So, and also like we want someone who will be doing presentations. So we need people who are confident enough. So there are some of the things that you can even consider. Right? Also physical makeup. What is the appropriate personal appearance and the level of health? So physical makeup, the appearance is very important. I can give an example. Just imagine like maybe at school, they are taking students for who wants to join maybe basketball, volleyball, rugby, you know what? So height is of an essence, right? So height is of an essence. So it's very important to consider height sometimes. We have disposition, attainments. Are you able to work under pressure on disposition? Attainments. Do you have the specific qualifications or any achievement? So if you have achievements, you have a better chances of getting the job and the general intelligence. Right, easy stuff, right? Move on this topic, you also need, so now when you recruit externally now, you advertise, right? You advertise. So on advertising, there is the local press, you can advertise local newspaper on internet, guys. Nowadays we have the social media, right? Social media. Now, selection interviews, when you are interviewing our employees, this is what we can do. We can do face-to-face interview. But guys, face-to-face interview is more like bias sometimes. Because just imagine you are going for an interview. You just open the door. Remember, you are on face-to-face. You are being interviewed by one person. Sometimes you can get the job not because you were the best. Maybe the person who was interviewing you just like you. You understand? You open the door. So, if the person doesn't like you or doesn't like your appearance, then the probability of you getting that job is very low. You understand? So mostly face-to-face interviews can be biased. There is face-to-face interview. There is a problem solving where you'll be given a problem to solve. The one who solves the problem better is the one who gets the job. Stress interview, mostly on stress interview, most people they fail this type. But have you ever heard someone saying, I got the job, but I thought that I failed the interview? Sometimes they can even stress you by asking you a question that they know that everyone will fail. But on stress interview, they need to even assess, even to know one who will be able to work under pressure, or one who solve the situation better, even if you have failed. You understand? That's the stress interview. They stress you. Then there is panel group interview, succession of interview. Like succession of interview, saying obtain a better view of candidates. For example, a finance director is interviewing an employee. You can even also ask his friend, can you go into my office and look at the candidate? How is he? So he's trying to get a better view of the candidate. You understand? Mostly like maybe those that do model, those are the fashion models. What they do, mostly they do succession interview, where you look at a person and you believe that this can be a model. But you also need to hear from others. You tell your colleagues that, can you look at the candidate? How is he? Like the looks, the appearance. You understand? So it's succession of interviews. You understand? But most people in the exam, they are confused with the group interview and panel. There's a difference between group and panel. So if you are candidates who wants to get a job and you are being interviewed at the same time, you understand, by someone, it's a group interview. You understand? But a panel interview, is interviewed by a group of what? People. You sit. You face maybe 3 people. You are the one who is looking for the job. You are being interviewed by 3 people, 4 people, so. This one asks you a question, you have to answer. The other one pose the question, you answer. You understand? So this is called panel, where you are just one and you are being interviewed by many people. So don't get confused between the two. Right, so guys, now we have this is what we have, selection testing. When they are testing the employees, they can test for the intelligence, which is the intellectual ability. You understand? Then there is also the proficiency test and the aptitude test. Don't get confused between the two. Again, proficiency test and aptitude. If it's the proficiency, we are measuring the ability to do the work involved in the job. Are you able to do the work? Are you able to do the work? You understand? Are you able to do the work involved in the job? What about the aptitude now? We are now testing the specific abilities. Do you also have some other skills that you are able to do? You understand? So, but if it's proficient, it's specific to your duties. Psychometric, obviously the thinking process. Personality test, basic attitude profiles can be assessed. We can ask you questions, medical examination, do you have any health problems? Assessment centers, we can give you assessment, you write tests, speeches, you appraise you, questionnaires, presentation. The one who do better, even the games as well, is the one who believe that can get the job. Right, so guys, on interviews, the one we have the senior management can also recruit employees, but just know that the overall responsibility, it is the HR department that has the overall responsibilities. The line managers can hire even employees, but the overall responsibility rests with the HR department. Equal opportunities, when we are employing, when we are hiring the employees, we should not discriminate. So there should be fairness, right? There is what is called direct discrimination and indirect. Like, just imagine when people are hiring employees, then they say, we are only, they discriminate based on gender. We are only taking men. Guys, this is not fair. This is direct discrimination. So why saying we only need men? Who said that women can't do the job? You understand? Even if you say we only need women, it's not even fair. Men can do the job as well. So discrimination should not be based on the gender. It's direct. That's being direct. We need men. We need women. Or even you say the race. So we only need white people or black people. This is unfair. It's direct discrimination. You should not do that as an entity. So there's gender, race, even age as well. I always tell people that age, if you discriminate based on age, it's also biased. Like some posts, they'll say, we need someone who is 30 years and above. Guys, 30 years and above. I can give an example of that. So are you telling me that we can have someone who can be qualified, you have experience, expertise, and that person is 29 years old? So are you telling me that the person cannot get the job because it's 29 years? You need someone who is 30 and above. Yes, I understand what you'll be saying, guys, maybe on maturity. But guys, biased because a 30-year-old can behave like a 20-year-old. You understand? So discrimination should not be based on age. You understand? Right, so this is direct discrimination. If you are discriminating based on age, race, gender, what? That's direct discrimination. Indirect discrimination occurs when you discriminate indirectly. Like you didn't say, we don't want you women, we don't want you, or we don't want black people, or we don't want those who are below 30, we don't want those who are below 25. Indirect discrimination is not like that. Indirect discrimination, you just set your like what you expect from the employees. Then the employee will say, I don't think I can work in this type of job. Like for example, working condition. You can put a working condition like, okay, you can say, we need those who are able to work from those who can work up to 11 p.m. You understand? So then you can excuse yourself saying that, I don't think I want this job. You understand? So this is indirect discrimination. You can discriminate indirectly. Like we say, this is our uniform at work. You wear maybe blue, you wear black, everyone, both men and women, these are your trousers, your jean trousers. But I think that some will be at a disadvantage because of religious. Some women, they don't wear trousers. You understand? So this is indirect discrimination. Then also we have victimization. Maybe when you're an employee, you made a complaint, then you'll be treated less favorably at the organization. So your employer, your senior, your manager, your boss, maybe is no longer treating you fairly because you complained. That's victimization. It's not fair. Right. Easy, right? Right, so that's the topic, guys. That's the topic. Right. That's the topic. Move on to the next topic. Individual, group, and team behavior. Now, individual, group, and team behavior, people, they behave differently. Some when they work individually, some when they work in groups, some when they work as a team. Right. So guys, on individual, group, and team behavior, This is what we have. What do we have on this? Let's look at the characteristics of individual behavior. So there is motivation level. So normally if you work as an individual, so we are looking at the individual's first, right? If you work as an individual, if you are good at your job, I don't think you have any problem with motivation. But if you are not good at your job, it will affect your motivation because you're just one. So there are some typical issues that affect individual behavior and performance at work. Is the level of motivation. If you're not motivated, then it's a problem. Then we also have perception. Guys, perception is the way you see things, the way you think, like the way you perceive it. You understand? So that's perception. Someone is not working, is not putting extra effort at work because you just believe you want to be used. If you're thinking like that, that's your perception, the way you see things. Perception is the way you see things. Then attitude and personality, there's a difference between the two. Attitude is just something which is temporal. Personality, that's who you are. If you are someone who is talkative, then that's your personality. But today, if people are saying, today you are so excited, you're different. Maybe because you want to be promoted. It will be an attitude. You understand? It's temporal. Right? Right. There is role theory. A role is a pattern of behavior expected. So role, this is what you do. There are several key terms relating to the role theory. There is what is called the role behavior. Okay, there is role behavior, there is role set, there is role sign. Looking at the role behavior, you can behave in a certain way because of the role that because of your role. Like on this example, a member of staff who expect to be promoted shortly may begin acting as if they've already been put in charge. Like they will tell you that we want you to be the supervisor, so we want you to supervise this team. So because of the role that you've been told, you can behave in a different way to act as if you are already in charge. You understand? Like you also have the role set. The role set, it also your level. It's like your level. Maybe you're a clerk. The role set, you have your duties as a clerk. So you can report to your what? To your senior. So you're expected to follow, to take orders from your senior because of the role set. You understand? So there is role sign. These are things that can be easily seen. We can just look at the dressing to see your role. I don't need to be told your roles. I'll just look at the dressing. You don't need to be told that this is a doctor. You just look at the dressing. So even maybe in the military, you can even see the badges, you understand, to see the level of authority, to see the roles. Then there is what is called the role ambiguity. The word ambiguity means unsure. You are not so sure about your role. This occurs when you are new at the organization. There is the role conflict and the role incompatibility. Most people, they get confused between the two. Role conflict, this occurs when you want to perform your duties as an employee, right? As an accountant, for example, when you see someone doing fraud, you have a duty to report. But the role conflict occurs when you want to report as an accountant, but you've seen that, oh my God, the person who committed fraud is my friend, maybe is a family member. You understand? So then it's a problem. You can have a conflict where you'll be saying, if I report, this will damage the relationship with this person. But you have a duty to report. So you have a conflict. But what do we say? Do the right thing. Right. Incompatibility, this is when you are told to do something which is incompatible. Like you work in finance department, you're an accountant. Then you'll be told maybe like, you guys, you need your help this week. We want you to help those who are in production department to just finish the work. You help them with production. But you work in finance department, you're an accountant. You don't have experience in the production. So when you're hired to do something that you don't usually do, it's a role incompatible. Easy peasy. Right. Number 2, moving on to groups. The groups are, you can work in groups. The groups can be informal, the groups can be formal. If it's formal, these are the groups that have been set by the organization. If it's informal, these are the groups that you create on your own. Maybe you decide to hang out with few people, maybe lunch hours, you understand? So that's an informal group. So informal group, we say it's good because it motivates people. You talk, you have a group with people who you want to be with. You understand? So you are motivated. But the challenge with informal groups is they do create what is called grapevine. There will be rumors, there will be gossips. That's the challenge. Right. Now, there's a behavior in the group: assertive, aggressive, and passive behavior. If it's assertive, it's a good behavior when you respect others. Also, passive behavior is also right. What's not acceptable is aggressive behavior, where you violate another person's right. Now, this is what you want you to understand now. If you work in group, guys, there are so many advantages. There's mutual skills and abilities. There is what is called synergy, where we say 2 + 2 is equal to 5. We all know that we have from the primary school learning, we've learned that 2 + 2 is equal to 4. But when you work in groups, guys, 2 + 2 will be equal to 5. Because what are we saying here? We are saying you'll be able to achieve more than expected. That's synergy. Yes, there is also increased flexibility, better control. People are motivated when they work in groups. You communicate with each other. There are so many advantages. Last thing on this topic on individual groups and team behavior is team. A team is more than a group. So when you work as a team, guys, there's a team spirit. There is coordination. You're working towards the same goal. So now we need to understand what Belbin and Tangbin said on this topic. Right. So this is what Belbin said. Belbin said that for a team to be effective, to be able to achieve the goals, you must possess 9 roles. 9 roles. So read the question carefully in the exam. In the exam, they can say, which of the following is true about Belbin? Belbin said that there have to be 9 people. The word 9 is correct, but Belbin didn't say 9 people. Belbin said that they have to be for the team to be effective, there have to be 9 roles, not 9 people. Because a team can be 5 and they are effective. So as long as you possess 9 roles, you can be 5, you can be 3. But do you have these 9 roles? Maybe one individual has 3 roles, maybe the other one is 2, but in total, you must possess 9, which are, number 1, in the team, we need a leader. We need a leader. Yes, who is a leader? Someone who is able to coordinate. We also need a shaper who promotes activity. We need a plant. Guys, just imagine planting something. A plant is someone who brings new ideas. So in the exam, they say, who brings new ideas is plant. What about a monitor evaluator? So monitor evaluator is someone who criticizes the ideas that have been brought by the plant. So guys, it's very important. In life, if you are not criticized, you won't be able to be more serious, you understand? So within the group, if ideas are created by the plant, by someone who plants, we also need a monitor evaluator who criticizes those ideas. This helps so that we'll be able to come up with better ideas. You understand? Right, we also need the resource investigator. A resource investigator is a networker. So in the exam, if they say we have an individual who conducts the suppliers, so that we will get the resources, you understand? Who conducts, so a resource investigator is a networker, those who have the links. You follow, right? We have the implementer, the company worker. So an implementer is someone who wants things to be applied into practical, right? It turns the ideas to practical solution. So there are people who plan, who have the ideas, but are you turning those ideas to practical solutions? So an implementer wants to implement things. We have the team worker. The team worker is concerned with the relationships. Understand? So maybe within the team, there are people who are having conflicts. A team worker makes sure that you are in good books. You follow, right? We have a completer, finisher, completer. If you completed the work, if you finished the work. So this one is concerned with progress, what? Chaser. Yes, is a progress chaser. So you understand. Then there is also the specialist on the expert, the one who has the knowledge. So in the exam, if they say this one is an expertise, he is a specialist. But you have to be careful with the question, because they can say this one has knowledge, where we get the suppliers. This type of knowledge where we get the suppliers is about having the links. You be a resource investigator, not a specialist. A specialist is someone who has the knowledge, who has the skill, who is qualified in other words. Right, last on this topic is Tuckman. Tuckman gave us this. Tuckman argued that for the team to be effective, argued that the team should progress through 4 main stages, but they are not just 4. So guys, the first stage is forming. So in the exam, you'll be asked the correct sequence. Which one comes first? You form the team first. So the first stage is forming. But normally when you form the team, you move on to storming. People will be having conflicts because they'll be fighting for the positions, for the roles. Let me do this. I'll be one who will be operating the machine. You understand? Someone will be saying, no, I will be the one who will be writing this down. Yeah, it's a team. Yeah, a team. So after you form, you move on to storming. People will be fighting for the roles, for the position, for the duties. Right. So this way conflicts occur. So from forming, you move on to storming. But after storming, guys, you move on to norming. You end up accepting your role, your duties. You understand? So norming stage, you're saying cooperation begins. From norming stage, you then perform. Then the work starts. You understand? You perform. The team begin to be productive. From performing, you move on to doming stage. Complacent starts within the team. From doming stage, it's adjourning. It's called mourning. Yes, you complete the objective and disband. So that's the team. Right. So this is key on. That's the key thing on well-being. On well-being and talking that. Right. Now the next one is motivation.